What's up, guys? It's your boy Tramel. I just wanted to say that I have a new project that's out. It's called Mixed Feelings. It's on all streaming platforms. I would hope that you would go and check it out. It's a really good feel of an album. It's got everything you need and more. It's got R&B, it's got a little bit of pop, it's got a little bit of hip hop. It's everything that you need and more. It's out all streaming platforms, like I said. Please check me out, and you can also follow me at I am underscore Tramel. That's I am underscore TRAMEL. Check me out. I hope to hear from you.
What's going on, y'all? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, and we are here to talk about Tami Roman and OG. Okay, but before we get into any of that, let's talk about what we got coming up this week on the Scotty by Nature TV brand. Okay, now first things first. On Tuesday night, we'll be back for the Whether You Like It or Not panel, where we'll be discussing Bill Collective as well as the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, and we will be over on Really BTV's channel this time at 9:15 Eastern Time on Tuesday night on Really BTV's channel. Be sure y'all tune in. We're going to have a good time as we always do. We are approaching our fourth season of the Whether You Like It or Not panel. We won't be taking a break per se, but after the season 14 Housewives of Atlanta reunion, we're going to go straight into season 4 because of Potomac, and the show is going to change altogether. So, be on the lookout for that on Tuesday night. On Wednesday, we'll be over on Josiah's World TV's channel, where myself, JoJo, and T will be roasting and reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, we'll be getting to a couple of things on Wednesday night. So be sure to tune in. The link will be available soon. So be on the lookout for that. And right now, we don't have the flyer together right now as I film this, but on September the 29th, which is this Friday, Jamar and ourselves, we will be interviewing So Gucci from Bill Collective. We'll be talking about her life story, life before the show, life during the show, and how does she feel about the other ladies on Bill Collective. We'll get right on into it. So me and Jamar will be interviewing So Gucci on Sunday. I mean, not Sunday, on Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. Central time. Be on the lookout for that, you guys, okay? So that's pretty much it on what we got coming up on the channel. And now we're about to get into today's tea. And today's tea is with Tami Roman and Miss OG from Basketball Wives. Now, as you guys already know, if you haven't found out already, just the other day, I think that was Thursday, just on Thursday night, there was an interview that Tami Roman did with my girls, my sisters. The Old Ladies First panel, Jamie and Bundy interviewed her because Niecy was not available. She was doing something or whatnot. But Jamie and Bunny sat down and they talked to Tami about her life, about, her as an actress, her real world days, and we even got into a little bit of Basketball Wives. But the main thing that caught my attention was when they were talking about Basketball Wives and OG's time on Basketball Wives, and Tami basically spilled a lot of tea in regards to how OG was treated by the cast, how OG was treated by the production team. She spilled a lot of stuff and basically pretty much confirmed everything that I ever thought about this whole Basketball Wives thing with OG. I can't say it enough. I was here for it. I definitely agree with everything that Tami said. You know what I mean? And I saw it for the same way Tami. I saw it the same way Tami saw it. So right about now, we're gonna go ahead and play an audio from it. I know that my girls would not mind. And if you want to see the interview, I'm gonna leave the link down in the description box. It's over on Jamie That's Me's channel. Okay. So if you want to see the interview, go over there and watch it. It was a very good interview. It was about an hour and some change long, but it was a good interview. Like, they had great conversation, but they always do a good job with their interviews. However, We're about to go ahead and get into this audio. And once the audio is done, you guys already know that I'm going to come back and dissect it, give my personal opinion on it and what I really believe about this situation. And then we're going to go ahead and get out. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday right now. So as we get into it, let's listen to the audio from Tami Roman on the Ooh Ladies First panel. Let's check that out right now. Let's check it out.
You said something. You said a way to get on is to come at pretty much the popular people of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to go to OG. I kind of have a two-part. One, would you say that was OG's tactic when it came to Evelyn?
No.
And then the other question is whether or not you guys are still in contact today, you and OG.
Yes, still talk to OG. No, OG really legitimately came on that show being herself. Now, let me just tell you guys something else. When they were like putting OG through the casting process, one of the producers came up to me and said, she's ugly and she doesn't dress well. Wait till you get inside and see what she has on. And the first thing that came to my mind was, that's exactly how the fuck y'all did me. You know, this is bullshit. You know, this is some bullshit right here. And so, I don't know, OG's mad cool and I'm glad we are friends, but I don't necessarily know that I would have been as concerned with being her friend had they not said that.
This year, I can choose a Medicaid managed care.
Hold on, you guys. There's an ad. Just give it a second. Give it 1 second.
Plan that's right for me and my family. With
Carolina
Complete. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like y'all trying to make it so nobody don't like her, and that's not cool. Because that's exactly what y'all did to me. So it became my mission of like, yo, she cool to me.
It was very gratifying too. I was so glad she was doing it. I was so glad.
Yes. So, but it helped that she really was a cool ass chick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I just think that by the time OG came on board, I was checked out. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't really as much of an alliance as she may have needed to stay in that situation because nobody was willing to fight for her. Right. And I've always been a person that's like right is right and wrong is wrong. It's not about who's popular, who's whatever. You know, it's like right is right and wrong is wrong. And everything that they did to OG was wrong. Like I saw it with my own eyes. It's not something that she's fabricating. It's not like, she's making up stuff. It was wrong how they treated that girl and how they did that girl legitimately. And that is the honest to God truth. So by the time that I left, it was really her against the world because nobody was really messing with her because she didn't back down. She has a very clear point of view and she has a clear sense of self. You know what I mean? And when somebody doesn't have that, they're very insecure around somebody who does. Mm. And so they weren't going to like OG. They weren't going to like her because she caused them to look at themselves and see where their inadequacies fell. Mm. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so it's unfortunate because I think she's excellent TV. I think she would have been good for the show. I did not watch the season that I wasn't on, but I did see clips when they would end up on the blogs. And, there was such a teachable moment for them to like address what OG was concerned about.
And they refused to.
They just tried to minimize her feelings, her concerns, and act like she was crazy. Mm-hmm. And that's not true. I saw it at the beginning of what they were doing to her. So she was right. They just didn't want to take accountability. Mm-hmm. And so, the quickest thing to do when, you are in a position of power to do so and you don't like somebody is get rid of them. And that's ultimately what ended up happening to OG, which should not have. Like right now, OG should be on that show with those girls. I think it would be far much more entertaining.
Yeah, because it was boring as hell. I didn't even review the last episode.
I've heard.
I've been stopped.
I was,
I've heard.
It's just, I feel like, it's one of them times where, you don't do right by people and things eventually work themselves out to me because I'm not interested in the show. So, and I know a lot of people weren't. They lost a lot of ratings after that. And they should have. Mm-hmm. So it is what it is. But I'm glad to see that.
Okay, and that was the girls talking to Tami Roman, and that was Tami Roman basically speaking out in a sense about how the production team and how the girls on the show treated OG. And I must say that I am very satisfied with that answer that she gave because let's be all the way real. I've been saying it. Let's keep it 100. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. I've been saying it. I've been saying that. Okay, let's just be all the way real here. I've been saying that. I've been saying that from the rip. And when I talk about things like this, people don't want to hear what I gotta say. Let's be clear. People don't want to hear what I gotta say when I speak about this. And the reason why they don't want to hear what I gotta say when I speak on this is because it's on the side of right. Because people look at OG and they don't like OG. It's okay if you don't like her. This is the issue that I have with people. When you speak on how she was treated by production, by the cast, they always want to say, well, the fans of OG, or how they like to call her, Toji, the fans of that girl always make it seem like she was a victim and she never did nothing wrong and she was always in the right and she was this and she was that. Let's be all the way real here and let's be perfectly clear here. I, for one, as Scotty by Nature TV, never made it seem like OG was absolutely correct in everything that she did. I never felt like she was always right because we're not always right. None of us are always right. Even with me being up here and y'all love me for who I am and for my personality and for the things that I bring to my platform, I'm never right all the time. Like there are times where I have went over the rails and was fucked up for something that I said and did, or I reported something and didn't know what the hell I was really talking about because I didn't do the proper research. I'm not always right about everything. But at this point, I say that to say, just because I loved OG, because I absolutely did love her and I still do, that does not mean that I felt like she was absolutely innocent in everything. It's not about her being innocent. It's about the writing that's on the wall. And that is the problem that I be having when this particular topic comes up. The writing is on the wall, y'all. I don't see how y'all don't see that the writing is on the wall, y'all. It's right there. You can clearly see where the difference is. You can clearly see that they were treating her a certain type of way. You can clearly see that. And then y'all want to act like it's not what it was. It's exactly what it was. How you guys gonna sit up here and say that that's not what it was when that's exactly what it is? Let's just break this shit down. First and foremost, when she first came on the show, everybody had an opinion about the way she dressed and the wig she wore. We all had an opinion about it. Why? Because I had one. I talked about the way she dressed. I didn't think that she dressed nice. I didn't think her wigs was on point. They were not. But I still liked her as a person. I mean, even with Tami, when Tami first came on the show, she wasn't dressed nice. You know, she looked like she was going through some things. Her wigs wasn't, on point. That's the first season. So everybody's not going to be on point their first season. Some people ain't got no money before they get on this show. I mean, they look at regular schmegler like people that I see every day. And that's okay. But you on TV, that's the first thing that we see. Okay, first of all, when it comes down to this OG and Kristen beef, people want to make it seem like OG was just picking on Kristen for no reason. When the shit first went down, they was at OG's thing, and the first thing that Kristen said was, I got a husband, throwing her ring up in OG's face, and then OG said, where is he? At home with my kid. Is he? Yeah. Kristen started that because she was trying to throw her ring up in her face. Like a lot of these girls doing these shows, they think because they got a man, a husband in the ring, that means that they're more superior than the next person because they got a fucking man, which anybody can have a man in any kind of way. They can have a man full time. They can have a man part time. Anybody can have a man. A man can have a motherfucking man. Let's just be real about that too. We ain't even finna play these games. We ain't finna play these games, period. Okay? We ain't finna play these games, period. So they try to make it seem like she started that shit. Then they used to get mad at her because she was defending Cece the same way Shawnee was defending Evelyn, the same way Evelyn was defending anybody that she was cool with. Then on top of that, you know what I mean? It's like they treated that girl differently and it didn't matter. They were so quick to label her as aggressive. Anytime she did something, she was aggressive. But in the same breath, this is the same people that's calling her aggressive have befriended people that throw plates at people, throw drinks at people, jump across tables, put their hands on people, throw water up in people's face. But this girl right here is stern and assertive with her words. And you want to call her aggressive and make it seem like the people on the show are not safe. But yeah, your friends have thrown plates. You even almost got hit by a damn plate. But this girl right here makes a threat of a sort to say that she'll break a bitch jaw and now she too aggressive to be around. I mean, I don't get it. And I never understand it. And the fact that people really don't see that as an issue, that's a problem. Evelyn has done shit the entire time they've been on the air. She has done shit the entire damn time they've been on the air, but no one says anything about the shit that she does at all. No one says anything about it. No one says anything about it. But OG can come on this show and don't throw shit, but just assert herself in a certain manner, and now she's completely aggressive. Can't nobody be around her. We can't fuck with her. She's too much. We can't do it. No. That is a problem and that is an issue. Let's keep it real. The fact that Tami even said that when they first brought OG in for casting, they said that she ugly, she can't dress. Wait till you see what she have on when she come up in here. If that ain't some bullshit to be saying about somebody. That's really how they looked at her. That's how they viewed her. They viewed her as an ugly girl. They viewed her as somebody ugly who can't dress. Instead of looking at her personality and to say that she's good for TV, they looked at her appearance as they always do. That's the first thing people look at. I was guilty of that. Looking at her appearance. Looking at the way she dressed. Looking at the way she wear her hair. When in all reality, that shit don't even matter. The producers thought she was ugly, and they casted her to make her the joke. They thought that she was gonna be a joke. They thought that this was gonna be another girl that they have on this show that they can bully around, make everybody make them the joke, and do all sorts of crazy, redundant bullshit to them. And it turned out not to be the case, and they could not handle that shit. Period. They couldn't handle that. They didn't know how to take that. They thought OG was finna be a pussy and let Evelyn railroad her. And that wasn't gonna happen. It definitely wasn't gonna happen, and it shouldn't have happened. And everything that I've already said, Tami said that shit went down. And it's just like, because OG was against everybody, she didn't really have no solid alliance member. Like, okay, she got Cece, but Cece is not that strong. You had Jackie, but Jackie flip-flops. Jackie goes where the wind blows. So she really didn't have no strong person to stand with her. She had to be by herself. And it's kind of like, with them doing what they did, that fucked up the show. So that last season where she was there, not season 9, but season 8, the last real season that they had before season 10, that was the last season that got good views, because anything after that has been terrible. And Tami said that OG should be on that show because it'll be more entertaining with her on it, and I definitely agree with that. They should have OG back. But would she come back? when they've treated her the way that they have, why would she come back? That's another question. Why on earth would she come back after they've done her the way that they've done her? Because if I was her, I definitely wouldn't come back. OG was the it thing for me. I loved OG. I loved everything that she stood for. Not only was she an Aquarius, but she was a strong woman. She stood her ground. She did what most girls wouldn't do, and that's stand up against the bullies, the quote unquote strong girls, the quote unquote mean girls of the damn show. She stood up against them. That's what happened. She stood up against them, and they could not take it. She aligned herself with Tami, but Tami was already checked out by the time she came along. Then you got Evelyn, you got Shawnee. They run this shit. Let's be real. They run this shit. Evelyn ain't nothing but a ghost producer. She run this shit right alongside Shawnee. It don't even matter if Shawnee is the executive producer. She run this shit. Evelyn runs it. Evelyn is the one who makes the calls. Evelyn is the one that calls the shots. If Evelyn don't want nobody on the show, Shawnee gonna work tooth and nail to get them off because that's her girl. She ain't gonna let her girl fall to the wayside like she do everybody else. It's like what happened to OG. To me, is what happened to Royce. You know how Royce didn't back down to Evelyn? You know how Royce did not back down to Jennifer? You know how Royce didn't back down to the likes of Shawnee? And they couldn't handle their shit? And what they did, what they like to do when they don't like somebody is refuse to film with them. They did the same thing to Brandy too. They refuse to film with them. They don't want them around. So they do whatever they can to get them kicked off the damn show. They love to do that. Now, my video on Tami exposing the Basketball Wives producers and for their works, which is now over 121,000 views. Thank you guys for tuning in because that video is still getting views. I don't know how it's still getting views. But I gave Tami a hard time on that video because, you know, I did feel like she was down with a lot of the bullshit that they were doing. And it was just a disappointment from someone that actually loved Tami. You know, I was down for Tami the first 3-4 seasons. And then, you know, when she came back, it just felt like she was under Shawnee's thumb and Shawnee was using her for her entertainment and to be her mouthpiece the same way that Shawnee uses Evelyn. So that's why I was giving her a hard time. And people still want to get mad at me for what I said about Tami in that video, but I really don't care. You know, I still feel the same way that I felt, and it's not going to change nothing. I still feel that way, and I still have a certain like for Tami, but what I said is what I said, and I ain't changing it. It ain't gonna never change. I mean exactly what the hell I said on it. And you know, her fans can be mad all the hell they want to, but I said exactly what the hell I said. Y'all gonna have to deal with the fact that I got a difference of opinion. You can debate all day, but don't get mad with me. Get mad at the person that I'm talking about. And that's real shit. Get mad at the person that I'm talking about. Don't get mad at me for calling it for what it is. But even after Tami said that on the Ooh Ladies First panel, because I'll be surprised if this shit even circulates. But it just might circulate. But Tami said everything that I ever thought about this. It wasn't, you know, and you know that Evelyn got, you know, some kind of allegiance with this with production. We know this already, so that ain't even nothing to even play with. We already know that she got some kind of allegiance to the production team. We know that she knows a lot of different shit about the production team and what they do and what they're about. That's why she was willing to do a lot of shit. So it's kind of like, you know, it's cool, it's whatever. Like, you know, for them to even look at Tami and say she ugly, she can't dress, look and see what she got on. They already was setting it up for her to be the joke. That's what they were doing. They were setting it up for OG to be the joke of this show. They wanted her to be the joke. They wanted her to be a fool. They wanted her to be something for everybody to laugh at. And then they got more than what they bargained for. That's what they did. They brought her on to be the joke. They think that she gonna be the one that everybody gonna laugh at. Oh, everybody, we gonna use this same formula that we've been using. We're gonna have y'all all talk about the way she dressed. We're gonna have all of y'all bullying her. We gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But then when they showed that she got a mind of her own and she gonna sit there and tell y'all exactly what the hell is on her mind and what she thinking, y'all couldn't handle that. See, y'all need somebody to bow down to Evelyn and Shawnee, and she wasn't the one that was gonna do that. Nah, she wasn't finna bow down to her. And Evelyn is the biggest fucking bully on the show. Let's be clear. Evelyn is the biggest bully, but then again, Shawnee is really the biggest one because the passive aggressive bullies are the most dangerous. They'll make it seem like they ain't got shit to do with nothing, but in all reality, they got a whole lot of shit to do with something. Let's keep it 100 on that. Shawnee full of shit. She's full of shit. Evelyn's full of shit. And the fact that people still going up for Evelyn, it baffles me. It baffles me that people still go up for her, knowing the shit that she's done. But y'all hate people like OG, who stands up for herself, speaks her mind, has a mind of her own, and doesn't conform to the things that these other girls conform to. I think that that's weird. I never understand it, and I guess it's really not up for me to be for me to understand it. I guess it's not up to be understood at all. But I'm glad that Tami came out and said what she said. I'm glad that she put that shit on blast as she has been doing for the last couple of months. I enjoyed the interview that she did with Jamie and Bundy and them. I really enjoyed that. Shot first of all, let me shout them out really quickly before I end this video. Let me give a warm shout out to Jamie, Bunny, and Niecy from the Ooh Ladies First panel. Y'all already know those are my girls. Y'all know that me and Bundy go way back. Like, we've been supporting each other for so many years. We've been riding with each other for a long time. And I think once we got on the Whether You Like It or Not panel and got into close proximity of one another and really started communicating a lot more often, that bond, that little brother, big sister bond that we got really got solidified in the sense. Same thing with Jamie. I found Jamie's channel about 3 years ago, and I've been supporting her off the rip. I've been, always, you know, supporting her channel, sharing her channel, giving her all that support. And it, me putting her and Niecy and Bundy Blue on my Whether You Like It or Not panel, I never knew that it would turn we will all be, doing what we're doing now. Like the Ooh Ladies First panel took off. They've done great interviews. We all pretty much have succeeded in a sense together. Even though we're not on the same panel anymore, we have succeeded together and we still support each other quite a bit. And last week was just an amazing week for all of us because we're all good friends. We all support each other. And it's like we were all on the same panel together just last year. And now that we are doing, even though we're doing our own things now, we still are succeeding together. So shout out to Jamie, Bunny, and Niecy. This was a great interview with Tami, and I'm glad that I could use that as a sound bite instead of using everybody else stuff. I could use my very own people stuff. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Ooh Ladies First panel. Love y'all to death. So with that being said, y'all, this be your boy Scotty. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, share this video, click on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever a video drops. And also, if you want to follow me on any form of social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my TikTok will be down below in the description box. Be sure to go to my description box and get that link. And get my Twitter and my Instagram. And I do follow back on Instagram, y'all. So if you are a part of the Scotty gang, be sure to hit me up in the DMs if I haven't followed you back, and with the hashtag message Scotty gang, and I would definitely follow you guys back. Okay. And if you want to watch the interview with Tami Roman and with the ladies first panel. That link will also be included in the description box. So with that being said, y'all, I'm out of here, and I will leave you guys with the promo from Nova Cosmetics as well as the Thirst Trap Boys Network. Okay, I'm out of here, y'all. Bye, y'all.